She never raised her voice, not once. But somehow, in a house where everyone was falling apart, her silence carried more strength than all their shouting combined. And no one realized it, until the day the whole family leaned on the girl they had barely noticed. Let me take you into her journey. Her name was Leora Venn, 17, soft-spoken, the kind of girl people assumed would always stay in the background, not because she lacked courage, but because life had trained her to stay quiet, to observe, absorb, and endure. Her home was the kind of place where mornings felt heavy before the day even began. The TV always played too loud, not because anyone was watching, but because noise helped cover the sound of arguments. Her mother moved like someone holding herself together with threads. Her father had a tiredness that never left his eyes, even when he pretended things were fine. And her younger brother, Adil, carried anger the way other boys carried backpacks, heavy, dragging, always slipping off one shoulder. Leora saw all of it, but she kept her voice small, not out of fear, but because she believed her family didn't need more noise. Her teachers always said she was quiet but responsible, the kind of kid adults rely on without realizing they're doing it. Her classmates knew her as the girl who smiled politely, helped with assignments, but never talked about herself. People assumed silence meant weakness, but Leora didn't. One Friday evening, the tension in the house was thick enough to feel on her skin. Her father had come home late again. Her mother was standing by the stove, staring at a pot she had forgotten to turn on. Adil slammed his door so hard, a frame fell from the wall. Leora picked up the frame. It was a photo from years ago, her family laughing in a park, the kind of joy that looked unreal now. She pressed her thumb to her mother's face in the picture, as if trying to remember what that smile had felt like. In that moment, she realized something quietly terrifying. If nothing changed, this family would break completely, and they were too caught in their own pain to notice the cracks. That night, she sat on her bed, knees pulled to her chest, and asked herself a question she had never dared to ask. Why am I waiting for someone else to fix this? She couldn't force her parents to talk. She couldn't control her brother's anger. But she could become the piece that held the shaken parts together. So she started small. The next morning, she woke up early, made breakfast, and placed plates on the table. For everyone. Something her mom used to do before. The exhaustion swallowed her energy. She didn't say a word, but her mother paused, noticing the warmth of the tea, the neatly cut fruit, the simple effort. Later, she quietly entered Adil's room and sat beside him. He didn't look at her, but he didn't tell her to leave either. They watched a football match replay together. Not talking, just sharing space without pressure. It was the calmest he had been in days. When her father came home, exhausted and irritable, she walked to him and handed him the mail he'd tossed aside. Her hand touched his sleeve for a moment. Small, but enough for him to look at her. She gave a faint smile. He exhaled softly, as if someone had finally reminded him he wasn't invisible either. She became the quiet rhythm the house followed. Not imposing, not demanding, just steady. But the real shift came 2 weeks later. A loud crash echoed from the kitchen. A plate shattered. Her mother stood there shaking, overwhelmed by something small that triggered everything big. Her father rushed in, annoyed. Adil appeared from his room, ready to snap. Leora stepped between them before a single word could turn into a fight. Her voice trembled, but she didn't back down. "Please, stop. Just look at her. She needs you." Her father froze. Adil swallowed hard. Her mother covered her face, sobbing silently. And Leora, the quiet one, the one no one listened to, became the person every single one of them turned toward. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't heroic, but it was the first moment they saw her strength. That night, for the first time in years, her parents talked, not perfectly, not calmly, but honestly. Her mother apologized for shutting down. Her father admitted he felt like he was failing the family. Adil opened up about school stress, about feeling overshadowed, about missing the version of their family that felt whole. And Leora, she listened. Not because she didn't have her own pain, but because someone needed to be steady enough to hold the room together. She realized something powerful. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the hand that picks up the pieces when everyone else walks past the mess. In the weeks that followed, her home slowly softened. Not magically, healing is never fast, but there were more shared meals, fewer slammed doors, more small moments of kindness. Her father started coming home earlier. Her mother laughed again, even if softly. Adil asked her for help with homework one night, and she nearly cried from the simplicity of it. One evening, her father placed a hand on her shoulder. "You held us," he whispered, "when we didn't even know we were falling." Leora didn't respond. She didn't need to, because she finally understood her own power, a power that had always been quiet, steady, and unseen. The kind of strength that doesn't make noise, but changes everything it touches. In the end, she didn't fix her family. She simply became the strength they finally learned to lean on.